As you most likely know, June is the month that is celebrated almost around the world, not celebrated, recognized around the world as Pride Month, especially in Western countries and civilized countries around the world. Everybody knows what the LGBTQ conversation is. It's a very divisive topic. Most heteronormative societies, which is almost all of the world, determines that the dominant sexuality, which is being heterosexual, is actually God sanctioned, is actually societally sanctioned, and any deviation from it should not be tolerated or allowed to exist. That has been the attitude of the world from the beginning of time. But that hasn't stopped other sexualities from existing. Anybody who has read a book knows that sexualities of different kinds have existed since the dawn of time, whether in the Egyptian eras, Mesopotamian eras, even in the Bible, different sexualities have existed. Now, the attitude of many different societies or religions to sexuality has largely been the same. They have entrenched heterosexuals as the default sexuality and have sought to criminalize anything that tries to deviate from it. One man, one woman, sort of thing. But those same societies have allowed heteronormative diversions from the one woman, one man rule. They allow polygamy, they allow polyamory, they allow many different forms of companionship and relationships that deviate from the one man, one woman rule. Many of them sanctioned by the same religions and societies that insist that God sanctioned one man and one woman. So you can have a man and two women. You can have, in some societies, one woman and two men. But where they draw the line is on LGBTQ relationships. This is not an argument for or against. To anyone who looks at this video in future, and maybe times have changed and you don't know what the current situation is, let me tell you how it is. There are two schools of thought. Some people are vehemently against it, and that is more than half the world. Out of over 200 countries in the world today, over 2/3 of the world still criminalize homosexuality. They still deem it as unacceptable, punishable by death in almost all African countries. Almost only Western Caucasian countries, Europe, UK, US, Canada, etc., Australia, have held the beacon of hope for divergent sexualities like the LGBT community. The realists are saying to themselves, I can't control what other people want to do. I cannot control who they are attracted to. And I know for a fact from history that they have existed from the beginning of time. Whether we want them to exist or not, we can't play God on who should love who and who should be allowed to exist. Criminalizing people based on something out of their control is also something that is immoral in itself. And so it's almost like in slave trade, for instance, it's almost like apartheid, for instance, where you make laws around things that people have no control over, their status of their birth, the color of their skin, telling people that because they look a certain way, they're not allowed into certain places and they're not allowed certain rights because they are black people, is synonymous by telling people who have no control over how they've turned out and who they like, that just by virtue of who they like, they should be rightfully deprived of their humanity, their place in society, their aspirations and their dreams. The problem is not with one school or the other. The real problem is the people who pretend like they are okay with it while they are not okay with it. And let me explain. Nigeria is a very homophobic country. Everyone knows that. We are part of the 2/3 of the world who have criminalized homosexual relationships. What many Nigerians have always done historically is that we have, as a society, separate from the law, we have a way of looking away from things that make us uncomfortable, right? Even within the family unit, anything that makes us uncomfortable to talk about, anything that brings shame to the family, we have a way of looking away. It's happening. We know it's happening. We don't want to address it. We just pretend it doesn't exist and hope that it goes away. We create an environment that makes it difficult for the thing to ever be discussed in the hope that if we look away long enough and everyone acts like it's not there, then it's just not there. And so we are delusional as a group of people. But then we want to be perceived as being good human beings. It's not to be seen as a bad person, even if they are indeed bad people. The people who top the charts in corruption, in fraud, porn sites, every single evil thing, we are top 10 in the world, in all the rankings. But we have the biggest churches and they're full every Sunday. So we like the perception of being seen as good people, even if internally we are not. And that translates into how we relate with the LGBTQ community. We simply say, I'm not against gay people, and that's virtue signaling. Essentially saying, I'm not trying to kill anyone, I'm not trying to dehumanize anyone. Because of all the labels that we have put on homophobic people, they don't want those labels, but they want to be homophobic. So I do not agree with their lifestyle. I don't think they should exist. I actually do not think, I think they are a menace to society. I think they are a threat to children. None of these things have any evidence. None of these things are true in fact. So you want to have all the characteristics of a homophobic person, but you don't want the labels, because homophobic people are rightfully labeled as being ignorant, as being biased, as being bigoted, as being hypocritical, because they accept all the evils and simply draw the line on this one, and being overly obsessed with the entire topic of homosexuality. Which is why when I watched the video today, and this is the reason why I'm making this video, I have always wondered to myself, when I go online and I see the same people who keep harping on homophobia, every single tweet, every single comment, with all of the things that happen in your life that directly affects you, not just anyone else. You're poor, you're living hand to mouth, you have no job for months, your parents are sick and there's no good free healthcare, your children's school is crap, there's abuse in your family, someone is dropped out of school, you can't pay fees, corruption in government, they're kidnapping, you can't travel on the road. Of all the things that bother, that directly affect you, the fact that your brain leaves everything else and minimizes it, but crosses the entire mental hurdle into trying to decide who other people are sleeping with or whether or not you approve of them to sleep with it, brings a sense of entitlement and obsession that then begs the question, why? And the lady in that video, she's a psychotherapist, was saying that people who are obsessed with anything, as human beings, we are only obsessed with things that we most relate to and we are most afraid of. And that hit me very hard. And which is why I want to ask you the question. If you're one of those people who often say, oh, I'm not homophobic, but don't bring it near me. I don't want to see them, I don't want to hear them, I don't want them to live or survive, I don't want them, but I'm not homophobic. Ask yourself, why is this topic such an obsession for you? If you're a straight person, the likelihood that you're ever going to meet a gay person is very slim. If you're a straight person, the likelihood that they're in your household, even though scientifically they are, is very slim. How about you focus your energy on the things that actually impact you, on your straightness, on your children's future, on poverty, on bigger things that actually require your mental energy? Why do you spend so much time so worried and bothered about what we allow other people to do? The entitlement of thinking that it's even in your power, you're the one allowing people to even be human. It's like saying we are allowing people to be black. We allowed it. You're not allowing it. It's how they are. It's the same way like saying I'm allowing you to be straight, or I'm allowing you to, I don't know, to live, to work, to survive. You're not allowing anything. You don't have that kind of power. And you need to ask yourself, why are you so obsessed with gay people? And I wish I could share the video, but I thought to myself, this is June. You're going to get sick of hearing these arguments. Gay people are going to amplify their voices this month because it is dedicated to their voice, to them reminding everyone that they're human and they exist. Straight people who are not allies are going to insist that they must not be heard. And this argument is going to happen this month, and we're going to come again next year and do the same thing. Where do you stand and why are you so concerned? Ask yourself. That's all. Cheers.